Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaos. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again in another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael, and we return to our Masks of Nyarlathotep game in the England chapter, and we are back in the live studio. So that's about where the good news ends for our investigators tonight. We have a little bit of a new seating order, so if you're used to us for the past, say, 60 or 70 episodes, you are going to notice a difference. To my right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and things just got fun.
They did. Rather interesting session last session. It seems that the masks are off. To her right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane, and, well, hopefully I get to shoot something tonight.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute for sure. At the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'm playing Jack Doyle, and we are definitely shooting something tonight.
Definitely.
Even if it's each other.
It's definitely possible. To Jack's right.
This is Lonnie. I'm playing Lawrence Edward Oliver Forsyth, and I'm really hoping that Lillian doesn't have to shoot anything tonight.
And to Mr. Forsyth's right.
Hi, this is James. I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Tartenbach, and as long as I escape bullet wound free, we are fine.
And last but most certainly not least.
This is Alex. I'll be playing Simon Granger, and I've been trying to contact Gavigan about his car's extended warranty.
Well then. All right. So when last we left our investigators, they were making their way step by step through the darkness up the gravel road towards Miser House. They'd already encountered some light resistance from the guards out front at the bridge. But now that that's behind them, and the deadly nature of how that was dealt with, some of the group have moved on to inching towards the house. So, I leave it with our front of house investigators at the moment. I know that Jack and Maeve have continued on. I know that there was some movement behind them from Lillian and from the doctor. So, are you and Mr. Forsyth and Lillian continuing up, or are you still staying back a bit, having...
Once I see Maeve and Jack move up, the doctor's definitely going to move up to help, somewhere right behind them.
Why don't we place that group then together with Jack and with Maeve as they've continued up, just to get some cohesion.
Sure.
Okay.
So we catch up to them?
You do.
Okay.
Most likely because Jack and Maeve are being a little careful in their approach. Just because now you see the house, you see the gravel road that becomes the drive, and then you see the silver car sitting out front. House lights, that sort of thing.
How close are we to the car?
You're probably 100 yards from the car.
Oh.
Which is a lot closer than you've ever been, clearly.
Is there anybody around? Is there anybody looking through the windows or anybody else coming out of the house?
You see people wandering the grounds, like the front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
You see people. Probably 2, 3, it looks like.
Are they moving frantically, or are they moving more of a just kind of a casual preparatory?
There's a guy out front smoking. There's a guy by the car who's seems to be looking at a few things, like securing stuff.
So they're not reacting to the gunfight we just had?
Mm-mm.
That's weird.
Are you still in your guard's uniform, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
You could pretend you have prisoners.
There, from the bridge area to the house, there's a fairly significant amount of space. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took you probably 5 minutes to walk to the house.
Right.
Okay.
So it's possible that maybe some of the gunshot sounds got lifted up into the air and it didn't bounce that way.
All right, that's fine. I kind of expected them to come running out.
Sure.
Or they can't be bothered every 5 minutes. Fritz goes out and shoots some local.
No, I mean, that's possible too.
Since they're not, they don't seem to be up in arms or expecting us, that gives us a few more options.
Yeah.
Is there only light coming from the windows?
Yeah. In fact, the creepiest thing about this house, Mr. O'Shea, for you, is that the front of this place feels like 1,000 eyes watching you. Every single inch of exposed skin that isn't under this robe feels like those eyes are probing you. The lights twinkle in almost rap succession back and forth. They're only present via the exposed pieces of house that exist after the ivy, because the house is really covered in ivy. It's actually a little dilapidated, Jack, to be honest. This is supposed to be some sort of epic manor house that he's taking control of here. This almost feels a little rundown English manor.
Well, they probably don't come out here very often, I'm guessing, just for their ceremonies and stuff.
Once we get to the gate, I'm gonna put my hand on Jack and lean in and look over and say, remember, that creature is here.
Yeah, I know.
To that end, Simone, you have snuck your way up to the back of the house. You see it, at least the back of it, and most of its dilapidated, ivy-covered glory. There are some lights on. None of the doors or windows are open, which is pretty striking for you. It's pretty common in the English countryside to leave a window cracked for fresh air, but that doesn't exist here.
So when I had come out of the wooded area, my initial instinct was to see whether or not there was anybody that would actively see me, like moving to the house. If I don't see anyone, my plan was to basically maintain my momentum and start getting vertical.
Okay.
You said it is it? What is it? 2-story? 3-story?
It's 3 stories.
Does the ivy go all the way up?
It does.
Is it peaked? It's like what kind of house is this?
It's a manor house. There is a bit of a peak to the roof here, although not great. It's not a sharp peak.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, like, is the third floor smaller? Like, is the second floor, does it taper, or is it all like a square building with a peak?
It does
roof?
taper, yeah, at the top. So the first 2 floors up are the same size. The third floor tapers a bit. It's a little smaller.
Okay. It doesn't look like, I guess, does it look more like a chapel attic, or is it like fully, are there like windows? Is it like full, it's like a full-size third floor?
It is a full-size third floor. Like, as far as it's a livable.
It's not like a
floor.
crawl space.
There's
Okay.
living. Yeah, there's living space up there.
There's a big, okay, so this is a house.
Why don't you all make me a listen roll?
It is so weird hearing dice.
25 under 68. So success from the doctor.
37 under 43. That's a success.
22 out of 70 for Lillian.
84 out of 20, so no.
72 out of 63 you failed.
There are some failures there. Would any of the failures like to push the roll? If so, tell me how.
No.
No.
Okay. So for those of you who succeed, on the wind, somewhere above the branches and boughs of this series of trees, there is a chittering. It starts low, almost rhythmically, and it works its way around your ear canal until it's a bit higher pitched. And at first it's easy to push it away as another wetlands or a woodlands creature. But there is something terribly unnerving about the sound that continues to emanate from behind the house. And in turn, the men who are outside the house walk inside.
With the 25 under 68, am I capable of pinpointing where it's coming from, or is it just too general to do?
It's unfortunately too general, but that 25 is a hard success on your listen roll. And so the extra added bonus that I'll give you is that it wasn't just chittering that the doctor heard. What you began to get was names. People's names.
Okay.
Do I get the same thing since I had a 22 out of 70?
Yep, absolutely.
So Lillian and the
Kinda,
doctor
like,
exchange
look
a
at each other,
glance.
Yeah,
You hear that as well?
I do. What names are they saying? I mean, can we make them out or just?
Yeah, you can't make out the names of specific people, but you know that it isn't just chittering. It's someone is saying someone's name. And it's not just one name, it's a couple.
Do you guys hear that? Doctor?
Yeah, I motion for Maeve and Jack to, I point at the sky, basically, like, listen.
It goes on for several minutes. And as the doctor points it out, the two of you, Jack and Maeve, you begin hearing it. And you start hearing it meld from this foul, chittering sound to names.
Is it like a chanting almost?
It's pretty rhythmic.
I wonder if they've started their.
They may have already started.
Isn't it a day early?
Yeah. The new moon is tomorrow.
I don't think it'd work if they started early.
Well, this is something else, and it's
Maybe it's that thing.
coming this way, I think.
Yeah,
The guys did go in. His men did go inside.
Right.
They
Once
might
it
be
started.
summoning the thing. Or...
I start moving toward the house at speed.
I also am moving towards the house while we're talking. I'm like, and keeping an eye on the grounds.
So, Simone, why don't you, is your intention then to scale the back end of the house?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a climb roll.
Do I have advantage of my climbing boots or whatever?
You bet.
Good, because that was a failure. It's a 42 out of 55.
Okay. Yeah, you begin scaling the back end of Miser House. Although, I guess I want to know, how fast are you intending to go? Are you trying to be accurate and careful and quiet at the same time?
Yeah, I'm not scurrying. I just wanted to get out of... I wanted to get out of the open field. Like, as soon as I hit the wall, I am probably going to snail my way up this. Especially if I'm not hearing anything past the initial kind of popping. Because I had already heard that subside, right? And I haven't
Yeah, you
heard
did.
anything since then. So either everyone's dead, or the house hasn't necessarily been alerted. And I haven't seen anybody out back yet, so...
No, I mean, you heard the gunshots.
Yeah. I was also listening for them.
Right.
And if they were faint, then there's no way to know. So if I don't have reason to worry, I am not going to necessarily worry any more than I'm already worried. But yeah, I am machete clutched in teeth, climbing up the back of this house, being mindful of windows, and sticking to, solid parts of wall. I guess let me know if... I mean, you said the windows are covered or draped or what have you?
Yeah, the windows are draped, so you're not actually able to see into the house.
Sure.
But when you get closer to them, you might be able to listen intently by them if that's what you want.
I think I'm going to try to make my way to the smaller floor because I feel like I want to have less space to work with. So let's see what's going on upstairs.
Okay, fair enough. So given movement rates, given that Mr. Forsyth and the doctor are rushing the front of the house, I'll deal with that first. I assume that the rest of you are going to go after them, or are you going to stay back?
I want
No,
to
we're
check
gonna
out the
move.
car.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm moving with Jack.
Okay.
Definitely getting up to at least the porch. And I'm assuming it has like a large... Is it a wraparound porch, or is it more of like an awning porch?
Nope. There's actually a very small formal porch here. It's really more like two large steps, and there's the front doors.
Okay, so old school English stoop. Okay.
Yeah, stoop.
Is the door locked?
Are you going to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's locked.
Okay.
Like you grab at the handle and it doesn't move.
Yeah, I'll take a crack at it.
Yeah, I nod to Jack.
Okay. You're going to head up to it with picks. Miss Lane, you get to the car?
Yes, is it unlocked?
It is.
And they don't need keys to start this time period, do they?
This vehicle in particular would require a starter crank to actually crank the engine over.
Is there anything... Is that available on the car already?
Like
I don't
if you look
remember.
inside of the car itself, you don't see it. You'd have to probably check. Maybe you could check the trunk. Maybe you could check
Is it in the boot?
It would be a boot here, yes.
Yes.
So if you were going to go look for it, then yes.
Well, is there anything else in the car that I can grab? Like anything?
Physically, no.
No.
But there is something that you notice in the vehicle.
Oh, what do I notice?
It's the smell.
Does it smell like death?
No.
Okay.
It smells like rich Egyptian spices.
Like it smelled in the shop when Jack and I were there?
Uh-huh.
That means she's here. Right?
I mean, that's really left for your own interpretation. You find tools, like automotive tools.
How big is that crank? Is it pretty heavy?
What's your strength?
Oh, it's 30.
Yeah, so is it heavy for you? Yeah.
Oh.
I
didn't know if I could take it with me so they couldn't use it, but...
You probably could. You'd have to carry it with two hands.
Oh, yeah, that's
You could just hide it.
That's true. Is there any bushes by the front door?
No, just put it underneath the
small
car.
ones.
They won't even know to look at it.
Really?
Into
it-
the river.
So, Jack, why don't you give me a locksmith roll? Or lock picking, as it were.
That is a 61 under 74.
Okay. You begin working on the lock. Let's see how long it will take you. Alrighty. So, you begin moving up and down with your tool set there, gingerly pressing against the sides of the metallic tumblers inside the lock in hopes of breaching its passage. Mr. Forsyth and Dr. You said you're next to Jack as well, so this counts too for Maeve. There is a tone coming through the doors of the house. There is a low-level, almost growl that is emanating from the other side of this door. And every time Jack's pick goes in further to push the next series of tumbler down, the growl gets deeper.
I'm gonna put my hand on Jack. Wait. And
He's probably waiting at the lock come on, what?
I'm gonna pull out the other vial, the mist breath,
Okay, sure.
and then I'll have him, and I'll just have it ready and waiting.
Okay. She readies a flask. And you finish the final insertion. Yeah. Final tumbler pushes down. You can feel the lock case move. Finish?
Yep.
All right. The door unlocks.
Are we ready?
I've caught up with you guys. I hid this stuff in the bush.
I sling the rifle and put the pistol in my hand.
Okay. You open the door to Miser House.
Yep.
So, inside the house, in this front area, this receiving area, it's a very wide hallway. Oak floors, colored with age and use, await your eyes. There's brass fittings on all of the subsequent door handles here. And there's a real old English air to all of the fixtures and the lighting. Inside the first few steps of the house, there's a scent in the air. There's a very musk covering the area, almost either a cologne or perhaps an animal. And then after a moment or two, Jack, because you're there at the front door, you really begin to get a bead on what it is. There's a coppery tinge to the scents in this room. And you start having some very concerning flashbacks to France and some of the houses, the country houses you had been in where they had been torn apart by war. And it hits you full on as you step in.
All right. I will move slowly forward. Gun out, ready to go.
At the far end of the hallway, a young, dark-skinned woman dressed in what looks like a maid uniform steps into the hallway with a stack of plates. And she stops, frozen, as she sees you and the rest of the people behind you.
I'm gonna look over Jack's shoulder and put my finger up to my lips.
She seems horrified, like you have seen the faces of your compatriots when they have been gripped by the hand of terror. You know what this face is, and now you're seeing it, and you come to the realization that you're the one implanting the terror. She drops the plates.
Son of a bitch.
and screams at the top of her lungs. High cry goes through the house. Simone, you hear that on the outside.
I smile.
And she ducks back out. Like, same door she came in, she runs the other way. What are you doing?
Is there any place for us to hide?
You're in a big, wide open hallway that stretches, what seems to stretch from the front of the house to the back of it. So, just so you're aware, for you at the front door, there is about 15 feet down on the left-hand side, there's a door. About 20 feet down on the right-hand side, there's a door. And then it seems at the far end of the hallway, there is a door as well. This would probably be about 45 to 50 feet down. And then the door she was on is about 45 feet down on the right-hand side. So that's the door she went back in.
Was she headed towards us?
No, it did not look like she was headed towards you. There is a stairway that goes up, but it's not a huge, grand stairway.
So I'm gonna just look at Jack and be like, we don't have a choice. We need to move.
Yeah.
To the
And-
closest door down the hallway?
No, we need to
Follow
start
her.
finding where they're at.
Okay.
Well, what I'm saying is, what we need to do is we're going to have to just go through every
Yep.
room, but we can't, split up or anything like that
Right.
because now the shit's going to hit the fan. So we have a couple people guard the, down the hallway, and then the rest of a couple of us go into the left-hand door, and if there's anybody in there, we drop them, and then we just move systematically like that.
Mm-hmm.
As in,
So-
like, we're going to incapacitate them or drop
Yeah.
them as in, like, shoot them in the
Oh,
head?
we're going to shoot them in the head.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So, Doctor, you want to wait outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doc's going to wait outside.
Okay.
Should,
Doc is going to have a really hard time.
He's going to
You
keep
got a
watch.
shotgun, right?
I do, but shouldn't... Lawrence, how are you feeling after...
I am headed toward the first door on the left.
Okay, first door on the left. So, we'll pause you for a second there. Simone, you got into the second floor now. Are you going to attempt to access any windows, or are you going to continue all the way up to the third?
So I heard a scream, right?
You did.
All right. So I'm going to take this opportunity to... What side of the house was it on? Was it like
The
from
screen?
deep within the house?
Deep within the house, yeah.
Okay. So I'll pick up my pace then. I'm gonna keep going up.
It sounded like a ground floor scream to you.
That's perfect. I go up. I will definitely pick up my pace though.
Alrighty. Lawrence, first door on the left, yes?
Yes.
So you enter what appears to be a drawing room. You enter a drawing room. The amenities here are fairly nice. Table, chairs, fireplace. This looks nice.
Anyone in it?
Not that you see, not immediately.
I will be waiting on the other side of the door with the doctor.
Okay, you're going to wait outside?
Well, so here's my thought. They all have guns. So, and they intend on using them. So what I'm going to do is after they go in, I'm going to put Doctor on the other side where he can't see in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I can basically be like half in, half out. You know what I'm saying? Like in the doorway.
Okay.
So like I can look, assess the situation if there's anything that I can do, or if it's just, they're going to take care of it kind
Sure.
of thing.
Okay. Jack, what's your plan? Are you heading with him to the drawing room?
Yeah. If he's going to go in there, I'm going to stop at the door so that I can cover him.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anybody in the drawing room.
Is there another door here?
Yes, there is one doorway to your right as you enter, far right, and then there is a door center far at the other side of the room. Actually, I apologize. It's not the drawing room; it's the reception room. But either way,
The one Lawrence went into? Okay.
so two doors: one to the upper, one to your right over there, about 10 feet, and then one across the receiving room there.
I go across.
Okay. You're gonna check out the next room.
I'll back him up.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just gonna kick in the door if I need to.
No, actually, the
Land
door's
shark.
the door's open. You enter this, which is technically the drawing room here, and there's no one here, but there is a hot cup of tea on the table in here.
Other doors?
No, sir.
Do I hear anything, any footsteps coming from other hallways or anything?
Not yet. In fact, the house is strangely quiet after her scream.
Is there a fireplace in here?
Absolutely.
Is it going?
It's smoldering.
All right. Back out through the other door.
You enter a breakfast room. It's a relatively small table, chairs, 3 or 4. There's another fireplace, a mimic of one on the other side of the wall that you had seen. And then there is a door to your left. And it also looks like a door straight back, too. That looks like an outside door.
Left.
Okay. You go left, and you see it's a small kitchen.
No one in it?
Mm-mm. Nobody here.
Okay, we'll withdraw it back to the hallway.
You draw back to the hallway.
For record, I'm standing outside like a guard.
Okay.
Like a cultist would stand next to the door to keep watch.
Sure. Miss Lane,
Yes.
you're still in that hallway?
Yes, and I'm outside the door where the hot cup of tea was.
Okay, so,
Yeah, in the hallway.
I'm still in the hallway though. Yes. Yes. Why?
right. I'm just making sure.
Do I hear anything? Do I see anybody?
Give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, I got a 97 out of 88.
You definitely did not see something.
No. Something saw me though.
Give me a power roll. Opposed.
I got a 52 out of 50.
Awesome. Your mouth starts to hurt. Like, actively. You adjust your jaw a little bit, and you're trying to figure out what's wrong, and then all of a sudden what you realize is that your lips are sticking together. At first, it's the adherence of, like, bubble gum. And then the bubble gum gets worse, like molasses. And the fleshy bits of the corners of your lips stick together permanently.
Can I breathe still?
Through your nose for the moment, but your pace quickens, and so does your heart rate.
I start running back down towards where Jack and Lawrence were.
Okay. You hear her footsteps as she comes. When she arrives, you can tell there's something wrong with her immediately.
I wave my hand in front of my face and can't open my mouth. Can they see that my lips are?
You can actually see that she doesn't have lips.
All right, well, we will have to move her out to Maeve and the doctor. They're best.
Didn't I run
Right,
past
right.
them when I went? Did I run past
They're
them?
at the front door. So when you get to Jack, and you're trying to alert them to what's gone on with you, you come to the realization that you can't speak. Like, you actively can only intone things.
Well, because I can't open my mouth
Right.
anyways.
And then you realize, I can't open my mouth. Why can't I open my mouth? You roll sanity at that point.
No, I would.
Oh. I got a 5 out of 38.
So, as traumatic as this is, you are holding it together. So you don't take any sanity loss from it.
Thank God. Are you guys going to escort me down to Maeve and the doctor, or are you going to tell me to do it myself? Since I don't seem to be, like,
I'm not
freaking
saying
out.
anything. I'm just going to the door on the right.
All right, well, I'll take her back to Maeve and the doctor. If there's something wrong with her, look her over.
Doctor, he brings her out, and this is not right.
Come here, sit down. Okay, medicine roll to find out what would be faster, to recut her mouth or to give her a trait.
Yeah, roll medicine. Roll medicine, absolutely.
Well, she can breathe.
Is he saying that out loud?
For
'Cause
now.
I'm
No,
just
he's
like,
thinking.
Oh my God.
I'm actually thinking at the moment.
Give me my scalpel.
Her mouth is sealed, and we have no idea if her nose is
I don't
going
have
to go
any
next.
lips, right? No lips.
Not at the moment, no.
My stone, is it glowing or anything?
No.
18 under, yes, 82.
As easy as it might be to do an emergency tracheotomy, you're fairly deft with a scalpel.
I could probably
Yeah, you can absolutely
recut.
recut it.
But I don't have any lips.
You will in a moment.
Oh my God. Where's the ether at?
That's for me.
Right. Yeah.
That's what you want me to do this sober? Come on now. No.
All right. So
Pass out from the pain.
Jack and Mr. Forsyth, you turn around and continue searching the house. Is the door to the house open, or is it closed when you guys head back in? Like, you were standing guard. I assumed that the door
I closed
was
it.
closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you return it to that rest state then that it was?
Yeah.
Okay. You're still outside with the doctor. Or are you standing in that breach, or...
Yeah, I'm like
I really wish you
halfway.
guys would come in the hallway. I really do. I don't want you outside.
Did they... So they moved to another room out of sight?
They haven't yet. They're turning around.
And then she came out, right?
Yes, she came out with her mouth sealed.
So if she's coming out with the doctor and she has a gun,
Yeah.
regardless of her state, she can shoot a gun, then I will go in after the boys.
Okay. Are you shutting the door?
Yes.
Okay. She shuts the door, and the two of you begin working on Miss Lane's mouth in hopes of opening up her passageways.
Well, she isn't far from it. I'm going to give her a hit of ether first from my breather because I don't want her to be... She's going to feel a lot of this.
I'm going to probably pass out for the
Make a
pain.
con roll.
I got a 56 out of 60.
56 out of 60?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't pass out, but you get pretty lightheaded and calm.
I'll be able to shoot that gun really well.
Lillian, this is going to hurt. I'm not going to lie, but I'm right here with you, okay? And then...
Okay, that's a medicine roll.
Yep. 31 under 82. So that's actually a hard one.
Okay. That's good. So you don't take any appearance damage,
Thank God.
but I'll get back to you in a moment. Jack, you, Lawrence, and Maeve are heading back down the hallway.
I'm basically going to, basically just watch their back, have
Sure.
my knife out.
The chittering continues, picks back up.
Does it get louder?
Not so much louder, but it gets clearer for you. And a voice in the hallway echoes off the wood in here, just for a moment. Good evening, Miss O'Shea. It's so nice to see you. Welcome to my home.
I'm going to put the knife away and grab the scepters.
Okay. Gentlemen, where are you headed to?
Door on the right.
Okay. Door on the right. So the door on the right, it conceals a large dining room. It's quite something. Splayed out on this table is the form of something was once that was human. It seems that the skin has been removed from a person, carefully, delicately, peeled away as if they are a simple banana, revealing the sinew and the flesh underneath. Blood coats the table in every direction.
Do I see that woman who ducked back in there?
You don't, but you are paying careful attention. Why don't you make me a spot hidden roll?
I have basically my back to their back.
29 under 61.
That's a hard success. Very good. The person on the table is the bartender from the Blue Pyramid Club.
I retch a little bit in my mouth and then just grit my teeth together harder. Grab my gun a little bit tighter.
There's always a cost. You hear the voice. There's a cost for everything.
Is it Gavigan? Would I know it to be Gavigan?
I don't know that you've heard his voice. It's deep. It's resonant, for sure.
Do I see?
Does it sound like Gavigan or does it sound like Crompton?
It definitely does not sound like Montgomery Crompton. You remember that voice.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not having bad flashbacks.
No, not just yet.
Come out and pay it.
Oh, I have no plans on paying any sort of price, Mr. Forsyth. You have entered my home.
Doors in this room?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So off of the dining room, there are two doors. One directly across from the door that you went to, and one on the right-hand side as you enter the room, or on the right-hand side of the room across the dining room, which lead back basically towards the front of the house. It's in that direction rather than across.
I'll go across.
Okay. You go across. You enter a grand hall. And in here, there is an array of furniture, a much larger fireplace, a side table with chairs. This looks like it was used relatively recently. This looks like someone was here probably minutes ago. Yeah, and the thing really that sticks out to you in this room, Jack, is that the fireplace here, it dominates the room. This is something that you would expect to see in a grand English house. There are suits of armor that flank the position here. And there are art pieces on the wall. Of all the rooms you've been in so far, this one looks like it's the most well-kept. Simone, you arrive on the 3rd floor. Well, on the ivy outside the house on the 3rd floor.
Okay. Are there, is it windows? Are there patios? I'm guessing there are windows.
Yeah, there are.
I just don't know if there's a balcony or anything up here.
There is no balcony, but the method that you use to crawl up basically takes you right up to a window on your right-hand side.
Okay.
And these curtains are open.
Oh, I will take a peek inside. Is there a light on or a candle or lantern?
No light, no candle. This looks like a bedroom, though, just from a little bit of what your eyes can make out.
What kind of window is it? Is it open vertically? Is it open
Yes, it opens
out?
vertically.
I will see if they left it open for me.
They did not.
A shame, really.
Not insurmountable, but
You said this house is relatively dilapidated, right?
yeah, it's in disrepair for sure.
I will brace myself against the side of the house and I will sheath the machete so that I can swap it out for my pry bar and any other, like an awl or anything else I might need. And I'm going to pop the window open. Yeah.
Okay, so I want 2 rolls. I'd like a climb roll, and that's really more for you to sustain your footing.
Great. So I would like to. I think I'm going to push that roll.
How are you going to push it?
As I'm trying to kind of get myself situated, as I lose my kind of foothold on the side of the window, I will drop my pry bar to get my other hand free and make sure that I can grab onto the ledge or door frame.
Okay.
And I will fail again.
All right, you are 3 stories up, and that's a failed push. But the fates have something in your favor tonight.
How's that?
So you begin to fall. And as you fall, your foot hooks into a thick piece of the ivy.
Well, this is going to
And
hurt.
you go upside down, but you don't fall all the way.
But I'm feeling like my back probably slams directly into the wall.
Oh, yes. You hear a pretty healthy crack from your back as it impacts the stucco outside of the house.
For a moment, I probably kind of break free from my determined state. My man possessed. It probably shakes me pretty hard. I probably hang there for a minute and try to forget about being afraid.
Fair enough. It's not easy, but it happens.
I'll remind myself that regardless of how I'm feeling or what's happening, that justice is at the end of a grave for these people. And I will pull myself up.
You pull yourself back to center.
I kick in the window.
Those of you on the ground floor hear glass shatter upstairs. My. You hear the voice again reverberate around the Great Hall.
It seems you've brought friends. I can't wait for you to see what I've brought for you.
Can the doctor and I can't hear Gavigan because we're outside, right?
You can't hear the voice.
See, when I said outside originally, I meant outside the doors in the hallway, but apparently we took it to outside the house.
No, I was going outside the house. I'm standing outside.
Okay.
I have a feeling this is going to be all over the place.
So, those of you in the Great Hall, you have the Great Hall. It's one of the largest rooms you've seen in the entire building so far.
I'm gonna look at Jack and say, I think he's in back,
In back?
like towards the back of the house.
Yeah, probably. Or upstairs. Or...
Jack, why don't you give me a luck roll?
That's 14. Under 96, I think.
Yeah, your current luck is almost maxed the meter.
Yeah.
So something comes to your mind really quick. When you were doing your research on Miser House, you remember...
Oh, yeah, the priest hole.
The priest hole. There's a priest hole somewhere here.
Yeah. Well, probably on the first floor.
That, or I was thinking a ballroom.
You have not seen a ballroom just yet.
No, there's a priest hole. It's a place where you would hide if you...
Wait, does he say...
Yeah.
Did you say that out
Yeah.
loud? Architecture. They build those fairly in the same place, right?
Your architectural knowledge would tell you that if there was a priest hole hideaway here, it would be built on the first floor because it'd have to be built within the foundational lines of the building.
Yep.
And it would have to be someplace where you could get people to in a relatively speedy fashion. So you would need to thoroughly search, likely, the first floor of the house if you were going to find some entrance to it.
Do you remember where it was at?
No, it didn't say. But you know what? I'm guessing it's probably back by the library since there was a steaming cup of tea there and no person.
Right.
Probably a hidden door.
Are you going to search this floor?
Well, yeah, but I think we're going to go back to
The room where the tea was.
Okay.
The library?
Mm-hmm. Well, the room where the tea was that's the drawing room, technically. You haven't seen a library here yet.
I was going to say, I thought I'd notice if there was a library.
You probably would, yes. Simone, you end up in a bedroom.
I resume swearing to myself quietly. You said it's dark in here and there's no one in here.
There's no one in there, and it is dark for sure.
Is the door shut?
The door is shut.
How decorated is it, I guess?
It's not really. Actually, the bedrooms here are kind of terrible quality. The bed's not even in decent repair. There's nothing here that accentuates any sort of personality about anyone who would stay in it.
Does it look like it's being used?
It does look like it's being used. I mean, the sheets have been used. There is evidence that someone slept in the bed.
Okay. All right, then I will move to... Is the door open or closed?
Well, the door beyond it is closed for sure.
Okay. I will move to the door and I will give it a listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Man, I am just awful tonight. 87 out of 63.
Okay. I mean, you could push that roll if you wanted, or you could look. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't hear anything.
You don't.
Pop the door open slightly and peek out. Out.
Yeah.
Is it open out or in?
It opens in.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll pull it in and take a look.
You look out into the hallway and you see a form, a human form, on the other side of the hallway here. It's a short hallway. It's got to be less than 10 feet. And the form is huddled down by the ground. It's young. Can't be more than maybe 18, 19 years. It looks like they're in a service uniform. And you see the form is just shaking and trembling.
They're just out in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't see anyone else.
You don't.
Is there anything... Can I hear... Okay, well, now with the door open, can I hear anything besides this person who's trying to be quiet? Or are they like openly sobbing, or do they look like they're trying to hide?
They look like they're trying to hide, but yet they are also sobbing.
Okay. That's fine. I can deal with sobbing.
They look like they're afraid.
I mean, let's hope she doesn't see me, because she'll probably just start screaming again. This might be the screamer. This is probably the screamer. Are they facing away from me, or...
No,
like,
they're
are
not
they
facing
looking
away from you.
kind of at me?
They're faced towards you, but they're not looking at you. Their head is firmly in their hands.
Okay. Then I will breathe the door open, and I'm going to slide out into the hallway. I'm going to try to break line of sight with where they would be able to see me, wherever that happens to be. So I don't know if it's like a long hallway or if there's... I'm trying to skate past them, basically.
Okay.
Not looking to draw more attention to myself.
You step out into the hallway and you see that the stairs are to your right, going down.
Like immediately to my right?
Not immediately, maybe 5 feet, and then the top of the stairs.
Okay.
There's also To your immediate right, as you step towards the stairs, there's a door, probably to another bedroom. And there's also 2 other doors, one by the woman, or one by the form, the woman, and then one that she's leaned up against.
I'm going to leave her be because I feel like she is not the person that they would have protecting something. So I'll move toward the stairs.
She stands up. She doesn't stand up in a aggressive manner. She just comes to her feet. When she comes to her feet, she extends her arms out towards you in almost this sort of Virgin Mary sort of way, as if she's concerned. You see along her arms, there are all sorts of dark markings, all the way down from her elbow to her wrist down into her hand.
And she's clearly noticed me and she's gesturing toward me.
She's gesturing out towards you.
Is she like approaching me?
No, she hasn't approached you yet. But she is continuing to burble and moan. You can see that the dark lines on her arms are beginning to move.
I will probably tighten and I will let out an audible hiss as I draw my machete.
Not lines. It's not blood. It's maggots. They're dancing maggots. She leaps at you. You were definitely prepared for this.
Oh yeah, I'm preparing my best home run swing.
You are going to beat her on dex, so if you would like to make a fighting brawl roll, go for it.
Yes. Gross. Oh my god. That's a failure. It's 89 out of 70.
Can't push a combat roll, so
No.
you swing. Woof. She's going to attempt to fighting brawl you. You could, if you wanted to, you could fight back. It's totally within your purview.
I think a dodge would probably be in my... Because I don't know what's going to happen when she grabs me. And so far I haven't had very good luck with these things touching me. So I don't want to be touched by anything anymore. So I would like to dodge if I could do that. Oh my god!
That's a critical failure on dodge. She has a hard success on her fighting brawl.
I have not succeeded once.
That's true. She's going to hug you. When she hugs you, your skin crawls as your chest and back explode with the feeling of being covered by maggots. She doesn't even deal you any damage. And now you're going to make a sanity roll.
Oh, there's a success. A 13 out of 69, extreme success.
You somehow block it. Somehow you hold fast to your will and can continue on.
Well, it's because it's not mine. I left mine outside.
It's your action.
So this thing is on top of me and
She's
all
flailing. Mm-hmm.
So she's flailing maggots at me and on me?
So she has basically wrapped you in a bear hug.
Okay.
While it's technically not a combat maneuver, she is, as she rubs her arms up and down your body, you can feel her arms pulse, like with the tension of a heartbeat. And with each pulse, there are more and more squiggles and wiggles from your skin.
Okay. Then I will move my hand to my hip, and I will, I guess, pull out my right holstered shotgun, and I will put it between us, and I'm going to pull the trigger.
Why must your shotgun come between us?
It's going to come more than once if it has to.
All right, we'll give it a roll. I'm going to give you a bonus die on this as you are at point blank.
2 hards.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to just go ahead and roll the 46, if you really want to, go right ahead.
10.
Okay. You pull the trigger. Those of you who are downstairs in the great room hear the sound of a shotgun go off inside the house. Twice, yes?
Well, it went off. That was the one roll with...
With the
Does she get
advantage.
blown off me, or is she still on me?
So the first blast from your shotgun does push her off of you in a pretty fantastic way. She drops across the small hallway here against the door that she was on, which door clatters open. You see that it's what looks like the interior of another bedroom. But she begins to struggle back to her feet.
Oh, she definitely gets a second barrel then.
Okay.
With another hard success.
Roll damage?
13.
Yeah, you paste her and the rest of her maggoty friends all over the hallway here. Where are you going from here?
Well, she opened a door for me, and that was the door I was going to avoid, but now that it's open, I mean, the shotgun already went off. So, as I move, I'll be careful I'm going to try not to step on too many of these things as I kick the shotgun open and reload it, and I'll move toward the door that she opened.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the darkness, it's impossible not for you to squish them under the treads of your shoes. They pop with a pretty juicy sound as you continue to move over them into the next bedroom. This bedroom looks like it has been not only used, but that someone's been maybe staying here for a few days. This room also smells different. It smells aromatic.
It's not the capsaicin in my sinuses.
No, it is not. What it is, though, is it's elegant. It's musky. It's almost feminine. It's in a strange way.
So there's a musk here. There's pheromones.
There is.
My eyes will probably narrow a bit. It's dark in here, though. Again, yeah.
Pitch black, yeah. As there's no moonlight to give.
Do I hear any pitter patter after the shotgun blast or anything like that?
Not yet.
Is there any place in here that someone or something could be hiding?
Closet.
I'll take a deep breath. Step over to it.
You're just a knob pull away from the truth.
I pull the knob.
You open the closet. It's empty. The moment or so after you enter the closet, and you are relieved to find it empty, the room is filled with a voice, and it says,
Come downstairs. I have what you're looking for.
I checked through the potential voices in my head that could have been. Wasn't any of them, was it? It's like,
it wasn't.
This was
You've
totally
never
new.
heard. This is a totally different voice. And you've heard a lot of voices in your head. I mean...
Yeah. Okay. This was... It's like something was communicating with me.
Definitely.
At this point, I'm kind of probably blank staring at the ceiling a bit because I don't really know what else to look at as I kind of wander toward the door. And then as soon as I get to the door, I'll take my eyes off the ceiling again. But how did the voice didn't feel like this presence in this room though?
No.
How did the voice smell?
The voice didn't smell so much, but the voice felt there was a familiarity to it. That's what strikes you about it. It isn't that you don't recognize the voice. It isn't that you can't place it. That's not the damning thing. The damning thing for you is that the voice knows you. You feel like it's spoken to you before. You can't find it in your brain as to where. All right, back down to the first floor. Why don't you all give me spot hidden rolls? Are you completely leaving the den and not searching it at all and going directly back to the room, or are you searching this room?
We might as well search this room.
Okay. I just wanted to get an idea.
Well, that's 37 under 92, so that's a hard success.
Sure.
82 out of 72.
You ain't found shit.
Big 100.
Oh, you maxed the meter. Very good.
Yeah.
So you are firmly convinced that there is something going on with the table in this room, and you just can't figure out what it is. Jack, you begin fidgeting with the fireplace area. And as you fidget with the fireplace area, you get the feeling that there's something going on with the armored suits that are here. They're fastened to the wall. They're hardened. You're not going to get them off of it, per se. But there's definitely something about these suits. And then you realize what it is. It isn't the suits themselves. it's this line of bricks behind them. And as you kind of feel around with your fingertips on the rough brick that's back there, you push the one that has a slightly discolored grout line, and it pushes in. And once it's pressed in, this suit of armor that you're next to swings forward, and there is a narrow stairway that leads down.
Well,
Doctor and Lillian, you complete the surgery on Miss Lane's mouth.
Right.
It is quick, it is effective, and it leaves her with the makings of a mouth.
Oh, good. The rudimentary mouth bits.
Yeah.
Okay.
You believe that if you had a little bit more time, you could remove the additional flesh that seems to have come up, and she would probably have her mouth back.
Does it also? It's not regrowing, is it? It doesn't seem like it's.
No. Once you make a slit for her to breathe again through her mouth, it definitely does not regrow back.
How much am I bleeding?
A lot. It's like having a facial scar, like a facial wound. Luckily for you, you have a trained medical doctor who knows it's going to bleed.
Yeah,
I would
sew
say
it back shut.
the skin is about as thick as the meaty part of your cheek. So you know it's going to bleed quite a bit.
Bleeds quite. I sew it back shut then.
What?
Mouth and all. I don't want it to get infected. No, okay. I once it's cut and open and she can move her mouth again, then I do my best to try to bandage some of it. You know, like at least staunch the bleeding. And
How much pain am I in?
A ton.
Yep.
So actually, Doctor, why don't you roll me 1d3. 1d3 of unavoidable damage.
That's 1 point of unavoidable damage.
Very good. Miss Lane, take a point of damage.
roll first aid.
Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. He's literally opening a wound into her body. You open her mouth up, and Miss Lane, you can finally talk again. Although you're a bit, you have a bit of a flap to the way you talk now because there's a bunch of extra skin over your lips.
Hopefully we can fix that.
Oh yes, I would be able to fix that, but
No, I'm
not now.
That's
Not
in my
outside
head.
in the dark.
But I'm probably crying. I'm in so much pain,
Yeah.
and I'm just sitting there on the ground with my hands between, holding my head. And
It's hard to think about what would have happened if it had closed around your nose. You wouldn't be able to breathe. You'd be...
But I mean, I'm not going to be any good to anybody because I'm bleeding and I'm in pain. And
It's 1 point. Suck it up.
Well, I was just gonna tell her to suck it up.
suck it up, cupcake, and point that shotgun at somebody.
Right.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I just need a few minutes to collect
Walk
myself.
it
and,
off, rub some dirt on it, it'll be fine.
Rub
so
some
let-
tussin in it.
So I'm going to take a few minutes to hopefully collect myself and stop bleeding.
Sure. Okay. As the two of you work your way through her wound and getting it staunched, and her being able to breathe normally, this is some of the most difficult work you've really ever had to do.
Absolutely, some of the most delicate, definitely.
As you're working through this process, you come to the realization, Doctor, that there is someone standing next to you.
Obviously not Maeve.
No. It is a woman, though.
Is my bag still right next to me?
It's pretty close, yeah.
Okay. Very calmly, like I haven't even noticed, just reach into my bag and drop the scalpel off. And pull out a roll of gauze wrapped around the handle of Betty.
No, Doctor. You're a man of science. Let's be reasonable.
Put it back in the bag. And go back to bandaging her wound. I'm not going to stop my job just because there's some scary person standing behind me.
You hear these...
That isn't me.
You hear the snap of a lighter, and then smell the burning embers of something Turkish.
You shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you.
Well, everyone smokes, Doctor. It's the thing to do.
I turn around and look at her.
You see an impressively put together woman. She's definitely Arabic. She has a beautiful tanned skin, dark hair. She's dressed in dark robes. They come together here at her bust line, which is ample and available for view. On the front of this robe, there is a big white inverted ankh.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm still wearing robes as well, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I stand up, and as I'm talking to her, I'm basically taking the cultist robe off. I don't need to be wearing this anymore. Like I'm taking off a jacket.
Well, it is a very nice place you have here. I would hate to see it damaged. And your health, of course, is not my greatest concern.
Tell me, Doctor, what is your greatest concern?
Right now, at this moment, putting an end to you and what is going on here.
But why? Why would you want to do that?
There are more reasons than I have time to list. But we would start with the inhuman, horrible things that you are doing here, and you have done to other people.
You see, you have the wrong person. You are looking for Edward Gavigan.
Yeah, this is true. Does not mean that I am not also looking for you.
She exhales a long plume of smoke down towards you. It's sweet and almost tempting. And now you make me an opposed power roll.
Okay, then I got a 2.
And your POW is...
My POW is 65, and I also have a pulp involving POW.
That pulp talent is likely going to give you the ability to have advantage on POW rolls.
Yes.
And you are going to need to roll that.
Oh, poo. Okie dokie. That's an 89, which is over. So my first roll, it was a 2.
The flavor of this smoke is intense and dramatic. And it all becomes a little hazy for you. Her voice gets in your ear and it runs around inside your ear canal for a minute, and you realize that maybe you've made a huge mistake. Maybe she's just somebody who got caught up in what was going on. She kneels down by the both of you.
Do I notice her yet? Or am I still in...
You're still in shock, but you notice that the doctor's talking to somebody else.
Do I know who it is? Do I recognize that it's the woman from the spice shop?
Yep.
Okay. Am I feeling okay enough to be able to stand up yet?
Yeah, you could probably stand up.
And face away from her?
Sure.
With my shotgun?
I mean, if you get up with the shotgun...
I'm already holding it.
You can't do that unnoticed. I mean, you don't have a pared down shotgun like Simone has.
I have a big one.
It's a full...
It's a 20 gauge
Yes.
shotgun. But then I'm gonna just... I want to cock the shotgun and point it at her.
Okay. You cock the shotgun and point it out. She steps back, and she pulls out 2 stabs, and she crosses them in front of her.
What do you want with us?
I want what is mine.
Which is?
First of all, restitution for a burned building, Miss Lane.
I can promise you that wasn't me that burned your building down.
But you were there.
So what kind of restitution do you expect?
Perhaps blood.
I point at my face. I think you already got some blood.
Oh no, that's Edward's little games in there. This can all go many different ways. If your aim is to remove Edward Gavigan from the face of the earth, I'm more than willing to help.
Can you fix this? What he did to my face?
Fix. Of course. She reaches out with her right hand, unaligning the crossed scepters. And she begins to murmur a series of words at you. Go ahead and make me a power roll.
I got a 66 out of 50.
66 out of 50, so it's a fail on a power roll. She's right. She can fix everything.
Oh, I'm going to believe her, aren't I?
You do.
So...
And she begins to fix the skin on your face.
Like it's not an illusion, it's a real...
As far as the doctor here sees, as far as you can see and feel, the additional flesh falls from your face, revealing the fantastically beautiful Lillian Lane, as she is meant to be.
Am I still in pain?
No, not at all, actually.
Wait, you're telling me she doesn't have Zoidberg flaps anymore?
No.
But since I believe her, so why are you joined up with Edward Gavigan if you don't want the same things he does?
He has the people I care about trapped in the basement.
Even though I believed her about that, can I see if she's lying about this?
Not a chance in hell.
I can't roll for that.
Nope.
Because I
not
still
now.
believe her.
That's correct.
Okay. Oh well. I look over at the doctor as I'm feeling my face back to normal and not in searing pain anymore. So, what do you think, Doctor? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Do I also firmly believe her?
I don't know about as firmly as she does. You would probably be at least neutral to the idea at this point. You're not completely bought in, but she hasn't done anything aggressive, and she's only helped heal Lillian's state, so...
Lillian, I think we can trust her implicitly, and we should go along with her plan.
Well, the rest of our crew is inside. I think maybe we should join them.
I think you should. I am going to work on removing Edward's backup plan.
Is there anything we should keep a lookout for while we're in the house that we should avoid?
Everything.
So don't touch anything.
This is his home. This is his domain. And Edward has been at this a very long time.
What are you going to want from us in return for your help?
Oh, it's simple, Miss Lane. I want you to kill Edward Gavigan.
And you don't want our souls or anything else after that?
You're bound to die anyway. Why would I want your soul?
Oh, that's good. And you are not going to continue to kidnap and torture and kill Egyptians?
Do you think I was the one? She
I just
gestures to herself and her and her visage. Would I torture my own people?
I would hope not.
Of course not.
Okay. And who do you need to rescue that's in the basement?
There are a series of subjects in the basement. They are being gruesomely tortured on a nightly basis, all in praise of this creature that Gavigan has willed himself to.
The Black Pharaoh?
Indeed.
We would want to save those in the basement, of course, as well.
If you can.
We will. Well, then we will leave you to your plan, and the doctor and I will go join our compatriots.
Wonderful.
Doctor? I know you don't want to go in the house, but we should probably,
I'll go
make
inside.
haste.
I think we should go into the house. I think this is it. It is the perfect time.
I lower my gun from her, and well, good luck.
She turns and walks into the darkness.
And we make our way into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where we call the session to a close. So thank you so much for joining us. We've had a wonderful time getting back together, and we look forward to what happens in the next part of the finale.